Hey YouTube, for this video I wanted to kind of wrap up the whole portfolio up until now segments, if you will, by just bringing attention to a couple of short films that I worked on after finishing the RRFC program. The first one, and this is, really the main one here, it's called The Night Whisperer. It was a short film written and directed by a 13-year-old. His name is Milo Atheist Finn. This was actually the second film that he got to write and direct. His first film was called A Troubled Mind. I haven't watched it yet. I have a link to it. I don't know if that's available widely. But his second film, The Night Whisperer, is available, and I'm going to talk about it and some of my experiences with it. It was super great. I was brought on as a production assistant over the 2 days spread across the month of December. I ended up taking up a lot of extra duties, and it was not so much out of a spirit of trying to bully my way ahead and take on as much as possible. It's just kind of what happened. It was a very small crew, very small cast, and there were things that needed to be done, and so I did all I could to step up and help. There's actually an IMDb entry for the short film, so I officially have an IMDb page. I'm credited as production assistant and as sound. It was a little more involved than that, but there you can't just keep littering the IMDb with the same three names over and over again, because I think crew wise there was only 3 of us. So let me step back. The film was presented by a local video production company called Damn Ninjas, which is run by Paul Thomas. Paul Thomas was the director of photography and A-cam operator for The Night Whisperer. His wife, Kay, helps him along with a lot of his video projects, and so she was the B-cam operator for most of the shoot. And she also did some makeup for the film. And the genesis of the whole thing was not just Milo had written and wanted to make his second short film, but they were making this with the intent of entering it into the Z-Fest competition. Z-Fest, it's a local thing here in the Twin Cities. We got together, it was a Saturday, I think, or maybe it was a Sunday, early in December, right after I had shot my my student scene. And the crew was basically Paul and Kay. Milo's dad, Dwight, absolutely fantastic dude. He was there to help with a lot of the stuff. Of course, they're the ones who spent the money to rent everything. We rented a fog machine. He rented a small light stand and some other pieces of equipment. I can't remember what they all were. But when we got down to it, it was me, Paul, and Kay. And so we just did our best to go in there. I worked with Dwight on setting up a practical effect. There's a scene towards the end of the film where a hat slides across the kitchen room floor into the hands of the Night Whisperer, the villain of the piece. And so me and Dwight, we spent some time playing with some fishing wire, and we ended up deciding to, instead of having it try to float through the air, we went the easy route and just had it slide across the floor. I was the guy reeling the fishing line to slide the hat across the floor. I had the little thing in my hand, the key fob for the smoke machine, so I was in charge of doing all the smoke and the fog practical effects. And at the same time, I was doing the clapper, trying to keep track of all the shots, and we were just having way too much fun. The first day it was shot at Milo's house, so his parents graciously let us in, and we were just running amok in that kitchen. It was so much fun, and I loved being a part of it. The second day, it was later on in December. I think it was the weekend before Christmas. We got back together for a second day of shooting at the at the Minneapolis Center for Performing Arts. Milo's parents had rented one of the rooms upstairs, so that's where we filmed these flashbacks. So one of the main things in the film is it's this mythological, it's like this folklore, this urban legend of the Night Whisperer, And so while the older brother is telling the urban legend to his younger brother, trying to scare him before bed, there's a whole flashback sequence that illustrates the story that's being told.
Buster's father was guaranteed all the votes.
And that was what we shot on the second day, was all those flashback sequences. And then after that was done, we went back to Milo's house and in his backyard shot the hanging sequences. And that was so fun to do for many reasons, because we had to get creative because it's the year 2020. It was 2019 when we shot it, but there's power lines all over the place, telephone wires. So we were trying to come up with camera angles that would miss the reality of modern day living, so we could just make it as old-timey looking as possible. And Paul, bless his heart, me and him, I think that we really hit it off really well. And he just handed me the second camera and said, "Here, you shoot B cam." So all the hanging sequences, I was the camera operator for the B cam, and it was so fun. There's a great sequence where when Buster, the antagonist, he's hanging, the camera gets real close up on his face, and Milo's nose starts bleeding. That was real. He actually let himself fall on the rope enough to where it started cutting off some circulation, and his nose just started bleeding. That shot, that was me.
He was saying, some people said he was swearing revenge.
So I just wanted to share a little bit about that experience. I'm actually going to play the trailer that Paul cut here real quick. He also was the editor, and he's a composer. That's Paul's first love, is music, so he actually composed the score. So let's just go ahead and play the trailer real quick.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Take care of the house.
Who's there?
The hell?
Super fun stuff. I think it's in the trailer. You can see Cole being pulled. That was one of Milo's, like, his favorite shot that he wanted to get, because Milo loves horror movies. He just really wanted to get that shot where his little brother is laying on the floor and he just gets drugged from behind. That was me. I grabbed little Cole's feet and just drug him. It was intensely fun. And so the film actually premiered at Z-Fest March 6th. Everybody, you could really feel it in the theater. A lot of people were having a lot of fun with it. They were laughing at some of the goofy parts, but they just really seemed to have fun with it. Like, and that's okay, even if people weren't scared, even though it's a horror movie short. They still had fun with it, and that's the best that anyone could possibly ask for. And it actually turns out Milo won some awards from the Z-Fest, which, wow. So his little brother Cole, who is the younger brother in the film, he was nominated for Best New Actor. It was nominated for Best Makeup, and it actually won Best Makeup. It was nominated for Best Student Film, and it actually won Audience Favorite for that session. So the way Z-Fest works is they take all the short films, and they split them up into 4 different sessions. While I've been talking, hopefully I remember to put some of these things in here, but we took a bunch of pictures. I took some video of the Alamo Draft House in Woodbury, where the session had taken place, and it was just crazy how many people were there. It was so just flooded with people, and I had, like, it felt cool that there were so many people there, and so many people got to see a film that I worked on. Milo was happy that people got to see a film that he made. It just had this really ecstatic feeling in the air. We got a bunch of pictures taken And the Z Fest, they brought in this big Z Fest screen that they put up on the wall with a little red carpet, and so we got a bunch of pictures taken. And one of the things that I want to play real quick is before we all left, I grabbed Milo and shot on my phone just like this quick little interview. I just wanted to kind of get his thoughts while he was sitting there and still vibing off of that excitement from just seeing his second film on the big screen. All right, so I'm here with Milo Atheist Finn, writer, director, and star of The Night Whisperer. How do you feel tonight, Milo?
I feel good. I feel good.
What did it feel like watching your work up on the big screen? Was that a first experience for you, or has that happened before?
It was a first experience for me. It's never happened to me before. Yeah, this is pretty great.
So what was kind of the idea? How did you come up with The Night Whisperer? What was your inspiration?
Well, I wanted to do it about like brotherly love or whatever, and so it kind of just spawned off from there. So I got like the first theme or whatever, and I sort of based my story off of it, and then I wanted to do like some old timer things, and then so it kind of just branched off, I guess.
Old timer things. Are you really excited to work on another project?
Yes.
What is coming next from Milo Atheist Finn?
I don't really know, but I'll work really hard on it, and it will be 100% for me.
Awesome. Is there anything else in general you just want to say, about how you're feeling tonight, how the whole Z-Fest thing went, the whole thing?
I'm grateful that my film that I did got to be shown. So that's pretty much all I have to say. That's how I'm feeling.
Awesome. Mom and Dad are probably pretty proud.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it was good working with you. Congratulations on completing the film. That's the hardest part, getting it done.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Milo.
Thank you.
Real quick, before I talk about the other short film that I worked on, down in the description, and there should be an end card over here that will take you to the full film of The Night Whisperer. Paul with the Damn Ninjas Entertainment Group posted the whole film up to YouTube. So be sure to click over on the YouTube link over here or down in the description and go watch the full film. It's 8 minutes long. So I just really want to say thank you so much to Milo, Molly, Dwight, Cole, and Levi, the whole Atheist Finn family, for bringing me along this incredible journey. And thank you to Paul and Kay for the fantastic opportunities to not just work with you, but to meet you, because that leads into the other short film that I worked on. It was Paul's first directorial film. He put it together real quick. I came in as an assistant director and B-cam operator for the entire shoot. And he wanted to put it together like really quick over like a week or two, kind of do more of an improv. Just, we have the idea, let's dive in, and, very, very bare bones script to enter into the Duluth Festival. Unfortunately, the film wasn't picked up for the Duluth Film Festival. Another film that Paul shot and made, I can't remember what it's called. I'll put a link to that one in the description below as well. And so that was picked up by the Duluth Film Festival, and congrats to that for Paul. I haven't kept up with it, so I don't know if the film festival has happened yet or not, but that's awesome. So this short film, he titled it Animus, and it's basically it's not anti-gun, it's more gun safety and gun awareness. Paul is ex-military, Navy, I believe. And he's just a really good soul. And he had this idea. He really wanted to help illustrate the way that kids are put into these situations where guns are involved. Either, your parents own guns or someone just threatens you, and the way that in a teenager's mind, you get desperate, you want to save yourself and others, you want to protect the ones that you love, and that leads to bad choices. It was a really great video shoot. All of the kids that came on and were acting are wonderful. You'll recognize Jason Rower. He was the older brother in The Night Whisperer. Uh, so it was great meeting him again and working with him again. And everybody was just really, really great. And it was a really good day. We shot it all over the course of one day. Paul did editing and sound again. And all that I've seen so far is this trailer. So let me just go ahead and play the Animus trailer real quick.
He threatened to kill us.
We have no one else to go to.
Shit. I'm scared.
Me too.
Do you even know how to use a gun?
Do you think it's safe now?
I don't know.
I just feel like you're just being a little bit paranoid about the situation, you know?
Who cares? I'm scared.
Yeah, I really hope that Paul is able to put together the complete short film. I'd love to see that one day. So Paul, if you're watching, hoping to see that Animus short film. And yeah, that was great. So I mean, now he trusted me enough after working together on The Night Whisperer to saddle me with assistant director duties, to just hand me the second camera and just go to town, to just shoot how I wanted to shoot, come up with composition and framing, and direct the actors on the shots that I was in charge of, just all on my own. And I appreciate that so much. Like, that's letting my creative muscle flex a little bit. And the more that you do that, the more that you get to think and actually put it into a practice, the stronger those muscles get, the stronger that creativity flows. And I really appreciate Paul for trusting me and giving me that opportunity. All right, so that's it for my portfolio up to date. Hopefully next time I'll be doing a video appreciation video. Really want to start working on those. I got to get a workflow going. My short film idea for the Migraine Foundation is unfortunately basically canceled because of the coronavirus pandemic. Hopefully I can come up with some ideas that I can just go out and shoot some footage while I'm social distancing, maybe not so much documentary footage, but just kind of walk around my neighborhood just to get more footage shot and just to try to do something creatively. But until I can come up with that, basically video appreciations are going to be the modus operandi until a project presents itself. Thank you so much for watching these videos. If you haven't already, down in the description there is a link to the Cups of Night Twitter page. I'm starting to try to get a little more active on there, talk about movies. I really want to try to create a community where I'm focused on talking about film. I have my own personal account, and everybody else has their own personal account where we can talk about the world at large. So I just want to kind of focus on movies, this channel, and these projects to try to just build a community where we can just all get together and love film. And there's also a link down in the description for my Patreon page. I started up a Patreon and I have one wonderful patron already. So big shout out to Dan Stonerock. Dan's actually a really good friend of mine from when I lived in Colorado. He now lives in Seattle, Washington. Thank you so much for your patronage, your donation, Dan. And he's already basically told me, a film that he would like to hear my thoughts on. So when I can get my hands on some footage to integrate into a film, I'll do a video appreciation, just like the tier he subscribed to calls out for. So look forward to that. In the meantime, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, and everybody have a wonderful day.